Good afternoon and welcome inside Callan Sports in Romeoville for this broadcast of ACHA Division I hockey live on Flow Sports. My name is Logan Kapp. I'm here today to take you through the game between the University of Michigan at Dearborn and the University of Rhode Island. This game is being played as part of the 2025 ACHA Chicago Classic that's been going on all weekend long here in Romeoville, as well as up north of the city of Chicago in West Dundee at the Callan Sports up there. We are just getting ready to get underway here. We were waiting for the officiating staff to come out of hibernation after their first game this morning that just finished up here on Rink 1 at Callan and Romeoville. That was between the Roosevelt University Lakers and the Oregon Ducks. We finally got the fourth official onto the ice, so we will step out for starting lineups and the national anthem. Then we'll be back for period number one. You're watching ACHA College Hockey live on Flow Sports. We welcome you back into Callan Sports in Romeoville for period number one of what should be a very entertaining hockey matchup. Number 11, Rhode Island Rams are taking on the University of Michigan Wolverines that are rated at number 31 in their conference. Rhode Island is coming off a tough loss yesterday as part of this ACHA Chicago Classic to the University of Illinois. 1-4 was the final score of that one. That was after beating Roosevelt on Friday 6-3. So Rhode Island trying to bounce back from that. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Wolverines had a big win yesterday against the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. 4-2 was the final score of that one, and that was after coming off a loss to Westchester on Friday. 2-5 was the final score there. Starting goaltenders for this game this evening, you see Isaac Kalasa in net for the Wolverines. He got the big W yesterday against Delaware. He's appeared in 7 games this season. 2-2-1 is his record of official status. It's a .266 goals against average and an .898 save percentage. On the other side for the Rams is Nathan Hanisco, the Cape Elizabeth native who is a freshman this year for the University of Rhode Island and has only appeared in 2 games this year as a 1.52 goals against average and a .933 save percentage. We should be in for a treat. This is the first meeting between these two clubs this year and the only meeting at that. In behind the net was Lockwood. He left it on the near side wall for Darlington. He gets some support from Gaduso, who got it to the point, and a big slap shot hit the shin pad out in front. That was Jake Emery, who was in the slot to block that shot for the Wolverines. Here now is Crane. Rifles it into the near side corner and will go off for a line change. Controlling behind the net is Dell. He sent a pass up the far side wall that was broken up, and in front of his own bench, that was Emery who backhanded it up. Now it's Marshall. Passes it to the near side where Nemav's controlled it in, but it was taken away by Cathcart. And that clearing attempt went up off the glass and all the way down for an icing call. Just over the 2-minute mark in this hockey game. We'll see a face-off in the Wolverines' end. That will be to the right wing side of Kalasa. In to take it for the Wolverines, Caleb Cathcart, the former New Jersey 87, of the EHL, will win it, and the Wolverines control. Here's Hartwell behind his own net, will hold up. He's got Bonfiglio in sniffing around on the forecheck. Dell Turns away from Bonfiglio, and this time the Wolverines will reverse it, and Cathcart sends it into the Rams' end. Caleb Cathcart, a junior from Waterford, Michigan, has been making an impact for the Wolverines this season. 13 points in 16 games played. He's already touched the puck a few times here early in the first. Max Hartwell, he's in over the Rams line and has a couple of Rhode Island players on him, and it was taken away by Gold. On the near side wall, it's Mulhern. He leads the team in points and had a goal already this weekend in Chicago on Friday. Out to play it behind the net is Kalasa. And the Rams force a turnover in the slot. A big shot is knocked down by Kalasa, and he can find it and cover up. A dangerous turnover there by the Wolverines in their own defensive zone, but Isaac Kalasa came out on top, and we'll see a face-off to his right wing side. Aiden Darlington moves in for the Rams to take this face-off. The former Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knight will win it. He's got it now and has a couple Wolverines right on him, and in swoops Ethan Marcola to control the puck. On the half wall, it was pulled out of there by Bird, who's got it in the neutral zone, but in came Gaduso and took it away. On his own blue line is Crane, gave it away. Bird with a one-touch pass right into the slot, but it could not be handled and trickled into the far side corner. On the point, it hopped right over the stick of Noah Smagaj. And now the Rams are in. A centering pass could not find Chase Gaduso, who was looking for his third goal of the weekend. Scored one yesterday and one on Friday for this Rams team, and the whistle goes for offsides. But Chase Gaduso, coming to this weekend, only had one goal and has tripled his goal totals here in Chicago. As that one's knocked down by Summit, and he'll go across his own blue line. Near side is Emery, who stick handles around one and is in over the Rams line, but threw it right into the linesman, who is trying to get out of the way. On the half wall, it's pulled out of there by the Mavs and across the blue line. And we got a penalty coming up here to the Wolverines. That's Jamison Franz, who had a check right in the numbers on the Wolverine blue line. No surprise at all that Franz has taken a penalty early in this one. He leads the team in penalty minutes. Has 29 on the season thus far, and now the Rams will get their first opportunity on the power play. Have had some success this season, 15 power play goals for them. Going up against a Wolverine penalty kill that is pretty strong, 84% on the season. Could not be knocked down by Aiden Darlington in the slot, and it's slapped all the way the length of the ice by Dell. The Rams goal left it off for Mulhern. And the Rams captain lost it in his skates. Gold snaps one in far side, but nobody's there for the Rams, and again it's sent out. Gold on his own blue line. Will hesitate and leave it for Shane Mulhern. He saunters through the neutral zone and is in over the Wolverine line, and he'll hold up now. Gold. Mulhern gives it right back. A one-touch, one-timer was just wide of the net, but the Rams regained control in the offensive zone. Near side, Mulhern. Far side on the dot, it's Sire, and his shot was saved by Kalasa. and is sent the length of the ice. Minute left of power play time for the University of Rhode Island. Slowly but surely, Gold works the puck in and will dish it off to Mulhern. And some confusion on the Wolverine blue line. We'll leave it in for Darlington behind the net, but it was slapped up. On the point, it's Gold. Trying to feed Mulhern near side, who was able to get it and send it down low. But Smagaj was right there. And a pileup ensues in the near side corner. 25 more seconds, power play time. On the point, Mulhern kept it in, dished it far side. A pass back across, he gets it back, and a big shot is saved by Isaac Kalasa. And the best chance of the game so far for the University of Rhode Island was thwarted by the Michigan netminder. Really the only quality chance that the Rams have seen on this power play. They still got 13 more seconds. A long-range shot was sent just wide, and in the corner to get it is Nemovs. That clearing attempt was kept in by Bessel, and the putback centering pass was broken up by Januszkowski. Here's Marshall. Put a big shoulder there into Jamison Franz, who just came out of the penalty box. And the puck was rifled back in by Tim Crane right into Delana Nemovs, and he was offsides. Nemovs was playing hockey in Sweden. Up until last year, the freshman came to play at the University of Rhode Island and has 3 points in 13 games played so far for the Rams. A backhand pass will send it ahead to Allen, who dangles through the neutral zone. It's Bird on the far side. And now on the top of the point is Hartwell, and his shot bounced around in the slot and is pulled out of there by Bonfiglio, and he's back in over the Wolverine line and snaps one on goal from the point. And that was right into the catching glove of Kalasa, who will hold on to it. 12:15 left to go in the first period. We're all tied up, 0 goals aside. A lot of action in the Wolverine end so far, but Kalasa has stood tall anyway in this early part of the game, but hasn't really had to deal with too many really high quality scoring chances. The Rams had one on that power play, but it's been a lot of long range shots that Kalasa has had a good look at. If you're the Rams, you got to think you want to try and take away some of the sight lines of Kalasa, clog up the slot while you're taking those long-range shots. As a battle on the far side half wall is won by the Rams. Here's Mulhern in over the Wolverine line. Will leave it off for the late man. A centering pass back to Mulhern, and what a defensive play there by Dawson Nelson on the back check. Took a penalty in the process, but just prevented a high-quality scoring chance. Nelson on the back check lifted the stick of Shane Mulhern, did not allow him to even receive that pass or get anything on the shot. A great call by the referee, but once again, the Rams will see a 2-minute power play. 11:24 left in the first period. Unsuccessful on the first try were the Rams. And their second try starts now. They force a turnover in the offensive zone. That's Thompson. Gave it up to Gold on the point. Here's Lockwood. Rifle the pass down to Gaduso. And it was backhanded high and out of play by Jake Emery. Jake Emery, the senior from Brownstown, Michigan. Another player that's had a really successful weekend here at the ACHA Chicago Classic. Had a goal on Friday in the first period and had a goal yesterday in their win against Delaware in the first period. So Jake Emery and scoring in the first period, something that's been pretty common. So we'll look to see if he can do the same today against the Rams. In behind the net, working hard in his defensive zone is David Dell. But the Rams pull it out of there. It was Darlington who had a centering pass, and a save was made by Kalasa. Rams still have it. Another try and a save once again by the Wolverine netminder. It's a point shot was sent wide there, and the rebound is controlled by Shane Melhern. He gets it back now on the point for the Rams. A centering pass, one-timer is patted out by Kalasa, who was down in the butterfly to make that stop. Once again, it's Mulhern on the point. Sauce's pass into the far side corner, which Sire, whose centering attempt was gloved down and cleared the length of the ice. And finally, the Wolverines can get a line change. A great series of offensive opportunities there for the Rams on the power play. They still got 30 more seconds of power play time. The dump-in went out of the corner and had to be pushed out by Kalasa. Took kind of a weird angle off the end boards. Here now moving fast is Mulhern in over the Wolverine line, but it was slapped all the way around the Wolverine net by Hartwell and out. Here's Gold. A give and go will send Gaduso into the zone. Drop pass left for Mulhern, and he went off the crossbar. He beat Kalasa, but couldn't beat the iron. Now buzzing up the left wing side is Bird, who's into the zone, but his shot went up off the glass. Barrett cycles it down low to Bird. In comes Allen. On the point, it's Emery. His shot was blocked there by Carter Allen, and it deflects into the far side corner. Beazle. Backhand clearing attempt was blocked, but skating out of the zone with it was Justin Bonfiglio. And he will dump it in and go off for a line change. University of Rhode Island coming out of the gate hot here and with a lot of energy, trying to bounce back from that loss they had yesterday against the Illini. Tim Crane in his defensive zone pushes it back behind the net where Marshall came in and picked it up. It was touched out by the Mavs, but immediately rifled back in. This time it's picked up on the dot, the center dot by Marshall, who will give it in. And in his own zone, it's Smagaj. A battle on the near side half wall. Right in there is Ryan Barlow, who actually has a birthday coming up about 2 weeks. Here in his own zone now is Ayadavia. Gets dumped in back behind Nathan Hanisco, who has not had to work that hard this hockey game. Buzzing into the zone is Crane. He controls it down below the goal line. And finally his teammate comes in to support. Up the near side wall, it's sent by Noah Smagaj. It deflects over to the far side, and a big save is made by Kalasa. Had to slide from right to left. And another grade A chance thwarted by the Wolverine netminder. Icing is called. 6:54 left to go in the first period. Still scoreless. But Isaac Kalasa, the freshman from Brownstown, doing everything he can to keep his team in this hockey game. And the faceoff is won back to Thompson on the point. Mulhern continued it down and tried to hit Sabo behind the net, but it was broken up. And once again, it's cleared all the way down for an icing call. Sense some panicking happening by the Wolverines in their defensive zone. They've got a very energetic Rams team that every loose puck, they're right on it. And the Wolverines have iced it a few times as a result of that. Sent up the near side wall by David Dell. And back in his own zone to get it is Colin Beasel. Once again, Dell trying to give it to Hartwell in the middle, but right there was Padden. And it's backhanded in by Cybor. Right to Hanisco, who will hold on for first time he's touched the puck in probably 10 minutes in this first period. Brendan Padden, the first time we mentioned his name on the broadcast so far. He leads the team in points and goals for the Wolverines. He's another one who had a goal in the first period yesterday in their win against Delaware. Wouldn't be surprised if he got another one here today. Gaduso will backhand that one into the near side corner, and back to get it is Max Hartwell. A graduate of Trenton High School will get things going and try and sauce it up to Franz, who was standing on the Rams blue line, but he couldn't knock it down, and so it will go for another icing call. Zach Januskowski will move in to take this draw against Aiden Darlington. And the graduate of Moses Brown School will win it, and the Rams control off that faceoff. Valenti rifle the pass up the far side wall where Darlington's in on the forecheck. But Dell came away with it. Up the far side wall once again was Franz, but it gets wrapped around the Dearborn net. Glove down on the point there by Valenti, and was kind of lofted on goal, but it was pushed aside by Kalasa. And it was sent out momentarily, but that goal will fire it in on goal and go off for a line change. Moving fast the other way is Cybor, but his teammates were also making a line change, so he was all by himself. Marshall pokes it up to Nemoivs, who's in over the Wolverine line. He tried to feed Marshall on the far side, but was unsuccessful. And that was Allen there that ran into a big shoulder from Quinn Thompson. Thompson's the one with the puck now, rifles a pass up to Marshall, who gets over the red line and sends it in. Behind his net is Summit, who had it taken away by Barlow and was then taken down by Allen. Near side corner, it was Nemoivs. He's got Marshall played catch with him, but Bird took it away and passed it over to Barrett. Right back the other way is Barlow. He tries to dangle right past. That's Magaj, but he wasn't having any of that. Forced into the zone by Bailey Bird. And a backhand pass across the ice. That was Cam Sire, who passed it to no one. Teets is into the zone and was sent down to the ice by Crane. Here come the Rams. They're in over the Wolverine line, and He trying to feed Corey Sabo, but Sabo was looking for more of a crisscross play. Here the Wolverines are in, and a big save is made by Hanisco on that odd man break, and that right there was the best scoring chance for the Wolverines. Now to be outdone is Sabo in his offensive zone, but could not get it on goal. And now Matt Cunningham chips and chases into the Rams end, but Damon Valenti came in and picked up the puck. Now it's Mulhern. A bank pass off the near side wall will send Lockwood into the Wolverine end, and his shot went off the left toe of Kalasa and skeetering into the far side corner. It went skeetering so fast, in fact, that it went up off the boards and went right into the pants of Aiden Darlington. And there to help him out was Brendan Padden. Even though these teams are each playing their third game in the 3 days, energy level is still high. Both teams want to come away with another win here in Romeoville, and they're both looking to come away with a winning record, really, and are both 50-50 in win percentage. That one was backhanded down by Padden. And behind his own net is Biesel. Sent up the far side wall to Lockwood, but he couldn't control, and a point shot from Padden was high and wide. Clearing attempt from Colin Biesel was right to Hartwell in the neutral zone, and he will rifle it back in. Now it's Crane building up speed in his own defensive zone. Will loft it into the far side corner and come off for a line change. A snap pass up the far side wall will find Franzen. And in the neutral zone, it was taken away by Barlow. A centering pass was almost found by Danila Nemovs, who was wide open in the slot, but just couldn't get any wood on it. Back the other way, Franz sent it in. Out to play it was Hanisco. And now it's Gold in his own zone. Scoops it just over the blue line and was immediately sent back in by Emery, but the Wolverines had to clear the zone. Nemovs, a rink-wide pass will feed Cam Sire, who's in over the Wolverine line. On his forehand, forced into the corner with an excellent defensive stick from Liam Summit. A cross-ice pass is saved by Kalasa, stuck the blocker out. And once again, the Rams generating quality chances in the offensive zone. Less than 60 seconds left to go in the offensive zone. Mulhern forced a turnover. Gave it right away, though, to Summit. And now Summit's got it back. Crane backhands a pass up the near side wall. Will find Chase Gaduso. But now Smagaj. The Canton, Michigan native couldn't do anything with it. 10 seconds left to go. Into the zone is Aiden Darlington. That shot was high and wide. Excuse me, that was Chase Gaduso who had that opportunity. Now it's Sabo's attempt was thwarted in front of the net there by Ethan Marcola. And after 20 minutes of hockey, we are scoreless. Rhode Island came out of the gate hot, have generated the majority of the scoring chances throughout the game thus far. And one has to think they'll be the ones to find the back of the net first in this one. We will get a rest, and so will the teams. And we'll see period number 2 in about 12 minutes. You're watching ACHA Division I hockey as part of the ACHA Chicago Classic live on Flow Sports. Welcome back inside Callan Sports in Romeoville to this ACHA Division I college hockey matchup live on Flow Sports. My name is Logan Kapp. I'm here for period number 2 of UM Dearborn and Rhode Island. After one, We are scoreless. And being tied after one period has only happened once to the Wolverines this season, and they are 1-0 in that game. And it's happened 7 separate times for the Rams. They're 5-2 after being tied after 20 minutes of hockey. It was a lot of Rams control in the first. They had the majority of the chances, but were thwarted by Isaac Kalasa, who's in net for the Wolverines. He'll see a face-off to his right wing side here early in this second period. It was won by the Rams. On the point was Gold, who will cycle it down to Zabo behind the net. He's pinned up against the wall by the Michigan defense. That was Emery. And a pass in the middle was right to Zabo. On the near side is Valenti, and his shot was sent wide. Mullern. A pass to Valenti on the point. Another shot was wide, and on the far side, that was Mullern who fanned on it. He was looking at a wide open goal. Here now in his own zone is Jake Emery. The former El Paso Rhino couldn't get it into the Rhode Island end. But in his own zone now is Summit. Gave it away to Gilligan, who was fresh off the bench. And on the point, a shot hit some skates out in front by Darlington. But away comes Patton with the puck. A big hit on the blue line is given there by Colin Biesel. And now with speed is Crane. He was in over the Wolverine line, but had it poked away by Emery. And it trickles out. Max Hartwell, he had an empty net goal yesterday. Will get things going for the Wolverines. And will almost turn it over in his defensive zone, but it's picked up by Bird. He's into the Rams, and he shoots, and a big blocker save was made right there by Nathan Hanisco. In one of the better chances of the game for this Wolverines hockey team. Hartwell scoops it into near side corner Rams end. He's in to get it. And a pass to the point. Dell couldn't keep it in. Just whacked out of the air by Bird. In on the forecheck was Barrett, but could not control. And on the red line, Marcola will send it back in. A pass up the far side wall feeds Dylan Boeing, who just hopped off the bench and was put right into the wall there by Jamison Franz. And his shots from the far side dot went off the end boards. And he still got it. On the point, a big shot from Smagaj was blocked out in front. And working hard in the neutral zone was Barlow, who sent it in. It's the Wolverines. Smagaj got the feed from Bird behind the net, and he'll backhand it up the near side wall to Franz in the neutral zone, but right on him is Damon Valenti. And it could not be gloved down, but Bird skates away with it. A turnover there by Januszkowski was forced by him anyway, and now the Wolverines control in the offensive zone. Valenti for the Rams had his pocket picked by Januszkowski and then gave a stiff shot there behind the net to Valenti. Smagaj from the point. His shot was pinched by Hanisco. And he was able to drop the glove down while in the butterfly to make that stop. Coming out of the dressing room, it's been a lot of Wolverine action. This is already have had more scoring chances this second period than they did in the first. Got to imagine head coach Chris Holzner had some words of encouragement in the dressing room. Shot from the point was saved there by Kalasa. And the rebound was tried to be sent out by Nelson. In the neutral zone, backing up was Colin Biesel, who will send it back in. Now Liam Summit, graduate of Trenton High School, will have a dangerous cross-ice pass to feed Haas, moving in over the Ram line. Now it's Cunningham. A rink-wide pass gives it to Emery in the middle. Backhand shot goes right into the catching glove of Hanisco. And that was Nelson and Thompson in front of the net, tangled up. He'll see a face-off to his left wing side. It's almost looking like a different hockey game here in this second period. The breakout pass could not be controlled by Aiden Darlington, and so that will send it all the way into the Dearborn end. And Zarnak will reverse it. Behind his own net is Hartwell. He's got to deal with Aiden Darlington, who's right on him. And the stretch pass could not be controlled by Zarnik, and that will go all the way down for an icing call. In to take the faceoff for the Rams, Aiden Darlington, a native of North Kingstown, Rhode Island, has been averaging more than a point per game this season, 17 points in 16 games played for the sophomore. He's been really making an impact already here today against the Wolverines. Here's Hartwell. Motoring into the Rams zone, will kind of loft one on goal, and right in the blue paint was Caleb Cathcart, and that will draw the attention of the Rams defense. Cathcart was moving with speed, looking for any loose change out in front of the crease, but none was given by Nathan Hanisco, and so now he'll see a faceoff in his defensive zone. Carter Allen moves in to take it for the Wolverines. A former captain of the Battle Creek Colonels. Had a pretty successful run there in the USPHL Premier League. Had 44 games played for them in the 23-24 season and 44 points, so averaged a point per game. And that was after graduating from East High, where he captained that hockey team. So a lot of leadership experience for Carter Allen. And now Bird has got it off the face-off. Goes for a skate around the Rams net and fed it up to Marcola on the point. Moving the other way with it in the zone is Delina Numovs. And an excellent keep in there by Gilligan. Ethan Marcola has to deal with Numovs, who's right on him. And now moving fast into the zone is Barlow, and an excellent stick lift there from Marcola to prevent Barlow going in 2-on-1. As he rifles that one in and goes off for a line change. In the near side corner, Rams end. On the point, it was Summit whose shot was blocked out in front by some traffic. And now working really hard in the offensive zone is Will Barrett. A big slap shot from Summit on the blue line was tracked nicely by Nathan Hanisko, and he'll hold on to it. 13:03 left to go in the second period. We're still looking for the first goal of this hockey game. A lot of action to our left-hand side in this one. The first period was all Rams who were shooting on that goal, and there's been a lot of Wolverine action this frame. Behind the net, it's Lopez working hard, and the Rams are able to pull it out. An excellent stick there by Quinn Thompson to keep it in. And on the far side, it's Boeing. Hesitates and throws one on goal, and down in the butterfly was Kalasa to make that save. He somehow made it through traffic. And now in the offensive zone is Cybor, who's put right on his wallet by Quinn Thompson. And physicality starting to pick up. Colin Biesel had a cross-ice pass to Boeing that was in his skates, and so he kind of just touched it in, and will come off for a line change. Smagaj centered off the glass on the far side, but it hit a stanchion and careened into the middle of the ice. Here's Sire. His centering pass could not be found in the middle of the ice by anybody. And now the puck skeeters all the way back into the Rams' end. Sent up the far side wall by Aya Devia, but not out. Mulhern is in there, and he'll skate away with the puck. Zabo tried to feed it ahead to Cam Sire, but it was blocked. But now it gets poked down behind the Wolverine net. Aya Devia. Got his first college career point, or goal anyway, this past weekend. And now we will see a face-off. Rams end after that icing call. As we approach the halfway point in this hockey game, the Rams have really kind of taken their foot off the gas pedal in this second period and have not really been able to recover. Been all Wolverines generating all of those offensive zone opportunities. But now the Rams force a turnover. Puck is right on the side of the goal frame, but nothing will come of it. A turnover is forced there behind the net by Corey Zabo. And probably the best chance of the period for the Rams. Zabo's in on the forecheck on Max Hartwell. And dragged down to the ice. There was Zabo, but no call will be made. See intensity level now starting to pick up just as we hit the halfway point. Controlled by Patton. And dished back and sent up by Dell. That pass could not be controlled by Cathcart, but it will now be skated up by Lockwood. He's in on his forehand, will wrap around the net. A centering pass, couldn't find anybody in front of the net. Chase Caduso was right there, but couldn't find it. A big shot block that time out in front by Max Hartwell. And motoring through the neutral zone was Aiden Darlington, but could not control. Fresh off the bench, Colin Biesel sent it back in. And a pass was ladled across the ice to Ethan Marcola. graduate of Trenton High School, turn it over in his defensive zone. And a centering pass that was looking for Colin Biesel on the point was intercepted by Barrett, who will send it in on goal. And Hanisco decides to freeze it. .850 left in the second frame. Face off to the left wing side of the Rams goaltender. In swoops Franz off the face-off to control it. On the point is Summit. Backing up has a one-timer, and it could not be deflected out in front of the net by Zach Januskowski, who was right on the top of the blue paint. It's still the Wolverines in the offensive zone. Signboard had it taken away by Barlow, and across the ice is Nemovs. His pass in the middle is saved by Kolasa there. And a great opportunity finally for the Rams. A point shot was blocked out in front, and it was backhanded off the near side glass by Franz. Here now is Colin Biesel. Gets over the blue line and sends it in on goal, and then goes crashing into Isaac Kolasa as he lost his footing, but Kolasa still made the save and was able to hold on to the puck. 8:04 left to go in the second period. We're all tied up. 0 goals aside. Out there to take this face off was Bonfiglio for the Rams, but he lost it in the neutral zone. It was picked up by Boeing and sent back in Wolverine end. Poked around the net by Lopez, who's tangling up with Haas behind the net. And now motoring up the right wing wall is Dell. His shot hit a stick out in front. That was Crane, who was right on him and had an excellent defensive stick to prevent that shot. Hartwell will slap it in and ring it around the goal. And right off the bench is Marcola. His shot hit traffic. Centering pass could not be found out in front of the net by Matt Cunningham, who would have had a wide open net to look at. It was Hanisco was way out of his net, challenging the shooter. Cross-ice pass from Marcola gets deflected in, and back to get it is Tim Crane. Left it near side for Gilligan, and it gets rifled up to Marcola, who had a quick shot, but it went off the stick of Riley Gilligan and into the far side corner. Tim Crane, the former Seacoast Spartan, will send it up the near side wall, and it will go far enough for an icing call. Rams starting to find their footing here over halfway done with this second period. It's kept it on the point and sent down low by Emery. Excellent stick there from Shane Melhern will get it out. He's controlling it over the Wolverine line, and his centering pass was thwarted by Liam Summit. And now in his own zone, it will be sent up the far side wall by Cathcart. Big hit right there by Cathcart. It was up high on Zach Gould, who was laboring. Now it's Sire into the zone. Stick handles around one. He's got on his backhand. Centering pass couldn't be found by Shane Mulhern, who was in the slot ready for it. Jake Emery tried to send a pass up, and it will kind of just trickle to Hanisco, who will hold on to it. And you see physicality picking up here as we approach this second intermission. Both teams still looking to find the back of the net. And looking to really do anything to swing the momentum pendulum back in their favor. Crane will continue it up the near side wall right to Lockwood, who gave it away. Valenti sent it up the near side wall this time. Working hard in his defensive zone was Lockwood, but it got sent across the ice, and Summit broke up a cross-ice pass there that was intended for Lockwood. And now Summit once again will slap it across the ice in front of his own bench. Sent in by Lockwood. Out to play it behind the net is Kalasa, who gave it away, in a quick shot from Max Lockwood was blocked out in front. Pile up now in the near side corner. Right there is Aiden Darlington, who come away with the puck. On the point, a snapshot was saved by Kalasa. It's still the Rams with control. Behind the net is Emery. Rams come away with it. Pass to the point, feeds Basel. And now Gaduso. Basel, his shot was deflected by the stick of Barrett up into the protective netting. That'll keep the face-off inside. 4:32 left to go in the second period, Face-off to the left wing side of Isaac Kalasa. Nathan Marshall moves in, the native of Bristol, Rhode Island. Had a goal towards the end of the game on Friday in their win against Roosevelt. He's got the puck now behind the net. Wraps it around to Idavia on the point, but he turned it over. Now moving with speed into the zone was Cybor, and not a successful rush there for the Wolverines. Barlow is dragged down to the ice by Hartwell. And in came Jamison Franz to pick up the puck. Turnovers forced by Marshall on the Wolverine blue line, but could not get anything going. And the Rams are in the midst of a line change. Here comes Franz into the zone. He left it for Cybor. A centering pass finds Franz. A big shot, and what a save by Nathan Hanisco. Slid from right to left and stayed right with it to keep that one out of the net. 3:37 left to go in the second period. Nathan Hanisco has had to work harder in period number 2. And you see it that his efforts are paying off. It's still tied as we're about 37 minutes into this hockey game. In his own zone, it is Lockwood. Fed it across to Mullern, who couldn't get it cleanly into the zone, and it gets sent up into the rafters by Max Hartwell, and that will result in a face-off taking place in the Wolverine end. Whole lot of hockey being played in Romeoville this weekend as part of the ACHA Chicago Classic and Big Classic tournaments at both Canlins in Illinois. Here in Romeoville, it's all the Division I games. I believe about 27 games are being played here in Romeoville, and then 51 total games, including the ones that are being played up at West Dundee for the Big Classic tournament. Been really a fun weekend of hockey, seeing some of the best college hockey teams come into Romeoville and play at this beautiful 3-sheet facility. On the rink behind us is Westchester and Illinois State, who appear to be having a barn burner, but meanwhile in this one we're still looking for the game's first goal. Here's Cathcart. He's in over the Rams line, and the puck got hit that went off the linesman, and going back the other way with speed is Zabo, but he ran right into Noah Samagaj, and he took the puck away. He's got it now near side, and the Canton, Michigan native will rifle it in and wrap it around the Rams' goal. Here's Crane. Had it taken away by Smagaj, who will send it back down low and come off for a line change. Kind of ladled on up through the neutral zone, and a pass is snapped up to Barrett. Left it in the middle for Allen. Will wind and fire it, but it went into the corner, probably as a result of the stick of Aiden Darlington, who was right on the shooter. Here's Allen. A backhand pass, another shot, and a save made by Hanisco, who took a big jab there from the stick of Bailey Bird. I'm not really sure what Bird was doing there. The puck was clearly handled by Hanisco, and the former Metro Jet was just trying to find the back of the net for the first time this hockey game. He'll stay on the ice. Face off to the left wing side of Hanisco. In to take it is Carter Allen. And he'll jump on the face off and be warned. Now it's Bird. 4 goals and 5 assists through 14 games for the senior. And Bird came in and lost the face-off. Behind his net is Biesel, who will slap it up the near side wall, and moving with speed into the zone was Darlington, but he lost the race to Emery of the Wolverines, and that will result in the puck being sent all the way back down. In on the forecheck, it was taken away by Bird, but he gave it right back to the Rams, and here's Lockwood. He tried to chip and chase into the Wolverine zone, but ran right into Liam Summit, who was giving him the business as he tried to skate by behind the net. It was Lockwood. A backhand shot. Lockwood's there, and the Rams score! On the goal line, it was Max Lockwood who got the final touch on it, and the Rams finally break this scoring stronghold. Minute 24 left in this second period. Huge goal for the Rams, who really have been outplayed the majority of this second period. But all it takes is one opportunity, and the Rams are up by 1. Here's Dell looking to respond for the Wolverines. Working hard in the offensive zone, has it scooped away by Marshall. And a slap pass across will feed Nemovs into the zone. His shot is saved by Kalasa. And the Rams still have it. Kept in with a excellent glove there by Gold. And on the far side, Nemovs gave it right away to Cybor. And he left it in the middle for Dell. He tried a backhand centering pass, but fanned on it. Now it's Franz. Had it taken away by Gold. And now it's Nemovs, who is pinned up against the wall by Dell. Hartwell for the Wolverines kept it in, but couldn't get it by the stick of Barlow. And so now on the dot was Dell, who will rifle it in and wrap it around the Rams net. 10 seconds left to go in the second period. Here's Barlow. Sends a pass across his own blue line, and it will get lofted all the way down. No icing is waved, and that'll do it for the second period of hockey here at Canlan. A very entertaining matchup there. Finally, someone was able to find the back of the net. That was Max Lockwood, right on the side of the goal, almost below the goal line, was there to pick up the loose change and take the Rams up by 1. University of Rhode Island looking to snap their I guess we'll call it one-game lose streak. They lost yesterday to University of Illinois. Look to bounce back from that, we'll call it. And they've got one more period to do that in. We'll see period number 3 in about 12 minutes. You're watching ACHA Hockey live on Flow Sports. Welcome back inside Callan Sports in Romeoville for period number 3 of ACHA Division I hockey between University of Michigan at Dearborn and the University of Rhode Island. The Rams scored a late one there in period number 2. That was Max Lockwood who was officially credited with that one, assisted by Chase Gaduso and Zach Gold. That was Lockwood's 12th. Gaduso's second assist on the season and Gold's 16th. Through 2 periods, when they're leading after the second, Rhode Island is 11-1 on the season thus far. And when trailing after 2, University of Dearborn, or Michigan at Dearborn, is 1-4. So Dearborn will be looking to change the tides on that side of things, and the Rams are looking to bounce back from a tough loss yesterday to the University of Illinois Illini. All these games, of course, are part of the 2025 ACHA Chicago Classic that is being put on this week in the Chicagoland area by Capper Hockey Services. Big shout out to Joey Caprio for having me back. My name is Logan Cap. We are ready for period number 3. Both teams have retaken the ice surface. And that second period was kind of dominated by the Wolverines. That was in stark contrast to the first. That was more opportunities that went the Rams' way. And funny enough, the Rams were able to score in that second period, and I'm interested to see how this one will end up. Sire will chip and chase into the Wolverine end, right on. That's Jake Emery behind the net. And his clearing attempt went off a stanchion. It's Sire. In comes Emery, but Sire took it away in the middle. A toe drag, big shot is right into the logo of Isaac Kalasa, who will hold on to it. 19:22 left in the third period. Kalasa has stood tall throughout the course of this hockey game, has had to deal with a lot, and I'd say even though the majority of the Rams' chances came in that first period, they've had the higher quality of them. Obviously scoring in the second, but have really been making Isaac Kalasa earn his keep in the blue paint for the Wolverines. And that puck got sticked out and was immediately sent back in. Out to play it on the other side was Nathan Hanisko, who also has looked very strong. Hasn't had to make as many stops as Kalasa, but has a clean sheet so far. Lockwood, the goal scorer for the Rams, chips it into the Wolverine end. Now it's Zarnik. He kind of flubbed the pass, but controlling is Allen, who had a beautiful backhand pass to Barrett, and his shot was shouldered aside by Hanisko. On the point that could not be kept in there by Smagaj, and a quick shot from Marcola was turned aside by Hanisko, who has to make another glove stop off that point shot, but he had a pretty good look at it and was able to field that one quite nicely. 18:02 now left in the third period. Rams are up by 1. Face off to the left wing side of Hanisko. In to take it I believe that's Carter Allen. That is Allen who lost it, but is able to regain it and wrap it around the Rams goal. This time it's Barlow. Sends a breakout pass to Marshall, who feeds it near side to Nemovs. He's got it back in the near side corner. Marshall's there to support. But skating away with it is Carter Allen of the Wolverines, whose breakout pass evaded everyone and will not be ruled an icing call. Tim Crane, former Seacoast Spartan, will try a pass back to the near side, but went off the skate of Zach Januskowski. And here now is Crane again. Turned it over in the neutral zone, and Franz could not get it in past anyone. Cybor rifles it in near side, and it could not be kept in that time by Emery. Back in his own zone on his blue line was Summit, and it was continued ahead by Jamison Franz. Kept in there on the point by Summit, who had a pump fake, but sent it down right to Crane, who scooped it out. In the offensive zone, working hard is Jacob Lopez. But in comes Summit, who was skated in over the Rams line. He cuts the middle. A quick shot went off the back of Jamison Franz and into the near side corner. And it was controlled up and out by Justin Bonfiglio. A saucer pass across to the near side was touched ahead by Cybor, but Wolverines couldn't control, and now buzzing through the neutral zone is Zabo. He pulls it and fires, and it's saved by Kalasa, but getting his own rebound was Corey Zabo behind the net. Here's Mulhern trying to feed Sire in the middle of the ice, but he missed it. And now it's Mulhern again. A backhand cross-ice pass was deflected, and Sire sent it back down low. Down behind the net is Connor Haas, the former captain of the Battle Creek Colonels, and he was able to get it out. Now both teams exchanging troops. We see pace of play really slow down in each of these teams. What is ninth period of hockey being played this weekend on this what now begins week of Thanksgiving. Clearing attempt right there from Aiden Darlington will be picked up in the middle of the ice by Dell. But now it's Thompson. Has to deal with a couple Wolverines players, and a quick shot from Dell on the point is gloved down by Hanisco, who will hold on to it. 14:35 left to go in the third period. Rams still up by 1. Thanks to Max Lockwood, who scored late in the second period. The junior gets his 12th goal on the year. Has averaged over a point per game coming into this matchup today. 18 points in 17 games played for the graduate of Xaverian Brothers High School. 11 goals, 7 assists. Well, now 12 goals, 7 assists for the Wolverine forward. Slapped around his own net by Nathan Marshall, but not out. It's Barlow, who's pressed up against the wall by Caleb Cathcart on the far side half wall. And now coming away with it are the Wolverines. In swoops Crane to take it away, and he had a stick lifted with an excellent defensive play on the Rams' blue line by Brendan Padden, but the Rams still controlling the offensive zone. And Moav is squeezed off the puck there by Zarnik, and that allowed Padden to skate away with it, but he ran into a couple Rhode Island players. Hartwell will get things going over to Smagaj, who mishandled that pass, but is able to get it out. Now it's Allen over the Rams line. He fed it over to Will Barrett. And Bird will give it to Allen, whose shot was wide of the net. And with pressure, Jacob Lopez will be able to get it out. A stretch pass kind of evaded everybody and went right to Hanisco. And he didn't like what he saw, so he'll hold on to it. Really starting to see things slow down here in the third period. And both teams will have a little bit of a break for the Thanksgiving here. The next game for the Rams will be against the St. Oswego State University on December 6th and 7th. As a quick shot there was saved by Kalasa off that odd man break. That was Corey Zabo, who is third in points on this Rams team, looking for another one, but an excellent save is made by the Wolverine netminder, and that will result in a face-off taking place to the left wing side of his cage. As I started to say, though, both teams are off this next weekend. The Rams are playing against Oswego State at the beginning of December, and that same weekend, the Wolverines are taking on Lawrence Tech. A pile up behind the Rams goal. In there working hard is Brendan Patton, who leads this Wolverines team in points. Had a goal yesterday in their win against Delaware. It was pulled out of there and controlled by Mullern, but his clearing attempt couldn't get out. A sharp angle shot was blocked out in front by Colin Biesel, but it's still the Wolverines with the puck. Marcola, a one-timer from Cathcart, and he scores! Caleb Cathcart able to take advantage of some really aggressive play in the offensive zone by Brendan Patton. And I'm not sure how many turnovers were forced just on that play alone, but this game is tied with 12:07 left to go in the third period. Liam Summit will dish it across to Emery, who sends his teammates ahead. Here's Bird on the near side dot. Had his shot blocked by Crane. Up on the far side point, it was momentarily kept in by Summit, but a renewed sense of energy from both squads after that most recent goal. In behind his own net is Emery. He's got Chase Gaduso sniffing around behind the Wolverine goal. And it's Gold on the red line, firing it back in. Jake Emery, the former junior Brahma, was looking to get things going for the Wolverines, but now it's Barrett. Seamlessly picks up the puck in the neutral zone and tried to leave it for Allen, who had Damon Valenti right on him. And now Marshall tries a backhand cross-ice pass that was intended for Ryan Barlow, but was broken up. And now it's Marshall, who ran right into Liam Summit. And now it's Bird. Is squeezed off the puck in the far side corner by Valenti. Still controlled by Franz in the offensive zone. Left it for Dell, who will activate from the point. On the far side in the corner, it's Bird. Now it's Hartwell on the point. Stick handles and sends it down behind the net, right to Franz. And it's Januszkowski tied up with Valenti behind the cage. Into support there was Jamison Franz, but unsuccessful as Barlow will skate it out and go off for a line change. Right at the halfway point in period number 3. It's been very back and forth, and I think we're in store for some entertaining hockey here in the final 10 minutes. Behind the net, it's picked up by Gillen of the Rams and sent high off the glass and kicked out by LaPaz. Icing is whistled. A late call by the linesman. Either way, Colasso will see a face-off in his defensive zone. In to take it is Corey Szabo. Third in points on this Rams hockey team. Well over a point per game player, 23 points in 16 games played for the East Greenwich, Rhode Island native. Crane will reverse it around near side. Skating with it is Mulhern. He's really given the business by Jamison Franz as he crossed over the Rams line. Here's Aya DeVita, and his shot was blocked. Working hard is Mulhern. He's down behind the Wolverine goal on his backhand, looking for some support. Feeds Sire in the middle, and his shot was blocked by an excellent stick from Jamison Franz. And that will be whistled down as an icing call. Jamison Franz, an excellent shot block there in the slot. Cam Sire, who is second in points, he leads the Rhode Island hockey team in goals with 20. In only 16 games played, so has got one heck of a shot, and Jamison Franz doing everything he can to help out Isaac Kalasa. Pass was broken up on the point by Gould and sent back in by Aiden Darlington. In his own end, it's Noah Smagaj. He's got Darlington right on him, but Smagaj was able to push it over to Ethan Marcola, who went high off the glass, but it was knocked down. Caduso sent it down low where Aiden Darlington couldn't maintain possession. And Noah Smagaj is dealing with a couple Ram sticks, and finally it's slapped out. Zarnik feeds it ahead to Padden, who's in over the Rams line, loads and fires, and it was sent wide of the net. And Emery, just hopping off the bench, will get it in the neutral zone. Rifled in near side, out to play it behind the net is Nathan Hanisco. Marshall reverses it near side, is controlled by Thompson, who tries a dangerous saucer pass across the ice. But no harm, no foul as Nemovs is into the zone, and his shot was blocked by Emery, who now has the puck in his own end. Cross-ice pass met the stick of Quinn Thompson. And the former Seahawk will deflect it up into the protective netting, causing a stoppage of play. 7.5 minutes left in the third period. We'll say a face-off at center ice. Both teams looking to take some momentum away from this Chicago Classic tournament. Working hard in the defensive zone there was Corey Szabo, but he couldn't get it out. A point shot was patted out. A rebound was sent off the left post by Bailey Bird, and he was denied by the Iron. We got a penalty coming up to the Wolverines. That was Will Barrett who pushed the stick away, and he will be going off, and a huge opportunity now for the Rhode Island Rams. Interference is the call. And Will Barrett not satisfied at all with that call, but Now with 7:05 left in the third period, a huge opportunity for the Rhode Island Rams. Just under 27% on the season on the power play, as that faceoff was immediately slapped all the way down. And back to get it is Biesel. He's got to deal with Januszkowski, who is right on him, but Biesel will slow it down and control it through the neutral zone. Sent up into the Wolverine end by Lockwood, the lone goal scorer for the Rhode Island Rams this afternoon. And on the near side, Januszkowski will send it the length of the ice. Line change for both teams, as behind the net, it's Shane Mulhern who will quarterback this rush on the power play for the Rams. Near side, Zabo will send it in and wrap it around the Wolverine net. In was Darlington, but had some collisions, and the puck bounces around behind the net. Could not be kept in there. On the point by Gould, and moving fast the other way is Patton, and his power move to the middle was turned aside by Hanisko, and another penalty has been called, and it looks like that will be Caleb Cathcart. And he will put his team down by 2. Cathcart has the lone goal for the Wolverines, and now an even better chance for the Rams. They've got 42 seconds of 5-on-3 time rather. And it'll start with this face-off to the right wing side of Isaac Kalasa. And a timeout has been called by the Rams. Seasoned veteran behind the bench for Rhode Island, Joe Augustine, in his 36th season coaching the Rams, has had quite the list of accomplishments. The resume is the word I was looking for. While coaching the Rams, 744, 367, and 81 is his all-time record for while coaching the Rhode Island Rams. He made an appearance in the ACHA National Championship and actually won it in 2006. He's a two-time ACHA Coach of the Year, the winningest coach in Rhode Island history. Pretty obvious there, 36 years coaching the Rams. International coaching experience he has with Team USA and that's at the World University Games. Joe Augustine was actually drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, and that was after playing at Boston College, where as a D-man he had 104 points. So a lot of hockey experience for the newly inducted Rhode Island Hockey Hall of Famer. As off that timeout, we got a blade that fell off the skate of Aiden Darlington. The first time I've ever seen that happen in a college hockey game. You see that all the time in the NHL. But now on the point, it was Gould who sent it across to Muller. He's got it top of the near side circle. Gould on the far side. It gets sent down low. Here's Lockwood. Gould near side. One-timer save made by Kalasa, who was able to find the rebound. And out in front of the net was Brennan Patton, who sat down Lockwood. But I don't think we're going to get another penalty there. Face off to the right wing side of Kalasa. Still out there to take the face off is Corey Zabo. He won it. And on the point, it's Mullern. Walks to the middle. He shoots, and his shot was high and wide. First penalty over. Still a minute 12 of 5-on-4 time for the Rams. Mullern will commence the push and back entry to goal, and will end up getting it back and sending it in. Hartwell snaps it up, and all by himself behind everybody is Januszkowski, who's into the Ram zone. And he's working hard to try and kill off some time. A centering pass, a big block shot there. Diving was Zach Gold, who had an assist on that Lockwood goal earlier in this game. And he's showing he plays on both sides of the puck. Fresh off the bench there was Beasel, and the puck bounced around in the slot, but now Beasel's got it on the point. Near side, Mullern. Back to Beasel. Walks it, shoots it, and it hit traffic out in front and gets deflected into the far side corner and wrapped around the net boards. A pass out to the middle. Here's Sire. Far side is Beasel. Near side, Sire. He shoots it. It went off the head there of Kalasa, or maybe it got deflected. Either way, some much needed offensive zone time for the Rams. Mullern walks it, shoots it, and down to block it there was Bailey Bird. But it's still the Rams with the puck in the offensive zone. Here's Beasel. Sends it around far side to Darlington, who was fresh off the bench and kind of just slapped it on goal. And finally, the Wolverines are able to send it all the way down, but it will be an icing call. 3:19 left to go in the third period, all tied up still. After both those penalties expire, a couple huge kills for the Wolverines. And the Wolverines decide to take their timeout off this icing violation. They got some tired forwards out there. And it looks like they just had a sneaky little line change there. They're not supposed to change off that icing violation, but after Chris Haltner called that timeout, I guess they can do whatever they want. We talked about Joe Augustine's experience behind the bench for the Rams, not to be outdone. Chris Haltner also has quite the resume. He, a couple years ago, the 23-24 season, led the Wolverines to the WHAC tournament championship. And really, the team has been ranked in the top 10 for a couple seasons. Has won a couple conference postseason championships in the last 5-6 years. And they captured the Great Lakes Collegiate Hockey League playoff championship back in the 2015-16 season and the 16-17 season. So a lot of quality coaching experience behind the bench for the Wolverines. As we'll see another face-off in their end. 3:14 left to go in the third period. We're all tied up. Thanks to Caleb Cathcart, who had a goal earlier this period. A sharp angle shot gets turned aside by Kalasa. And controlling in his own zone was Marcola. His clearing attempt couldn't get out. A centering pass to Caduso is blockered out by Kalasa. And picking it up seamlessly is Marcola in the neutral zone. Turns it, shoots it, and another save made, this time on the other side of the ice by Nathan Hanisco. Makes another stop there, and the rebound could not be cleared out, but is eventually forced over the line by Max Lockwood, who will go off for a line change. Now it's Colin Beasel in his own zone. Feeds it over on the far side. And it got lofted out. It was intended for Shane Mullern, but the Rams force a turnover. Here's Sire, a centering pass, and a shot was saved by Kalasa, who pushed the net off in the process, but we will keep on going. Gould rifles a pass right back to Valenti, who wasn't expecting it, but was able to recover, and it gets sent all the way down. Minute 59 left to go under the 2-minute warning. Who's going to be the hero? Valenti tried to send it up the far side wall, but it was blocked by Januszkowski. And this time, Gaduso couldn't control. Gould had his clearing attempt blocked. Emery on the point kept it in and rifled it back down behind the Ram net. And working hard in his defensive zone is Damon Valenti. That clearing attempt went up off the ceiling. And so now a faceoff will be conducted in the Rams' end. Normally when a team puts the puck out of play in their own defensive zone, they're not allowed to change. However, in college hockey, if it goes off the ceiling, like it did here just moments ago, they are still allowed to change, just because some of these barns that these teams are playing and have such low ceilings. Anyway, we're playing again, and the net was pushed off its moorings. Minute 15 left to go in regulation time. The faceoff will be conducted outside the Ram blue line. In to take it is Carter Allen for the Wolverines. The former Batter Creek Colonel lost that one. And in his own zone is Colin Biesel. Snaps a rink-wide pass to no one. It went off the bench. But it's Barrett now on his own blue line. Gave it right to Shane Mullern. But Mullern couldn't get it in. And now a pass is snapped up by David Dell, who was intercepted. Here's Mullern into the zone. Ran right into the stick of Dell, who took the puck away. Less than a minute left to go here in regulation. Moving fast into the zone is Hartwell. Tries a saucer pass and an excellent stick there from Tim Crane. Broke that up. Who then skates it up over the red line, is crunched off the puck right into the linesman in the neutral zone. Meanwhile, a centering pass could not be found by the Rams. Chipped in by Cathcart, who's got the lone goal today, and he's sat right down in the near side corner by Colin Biesel. And it gets pressed up against the glass, and that will just about run out time here in Romeoville. We're in store for a good one here as we wait for overtime. 5 minutes will be put on the clock. And it was much more even than it in that third period than it was the rest of that hockey game. Rhode Island controlled the majority of the first period. Then in the second, it was the Wolverines. And it was really back and forth in the third. University of Michigan obviously able to tie it up there. As they're looking to kind of continue their win streak after beating Delaware yesterday. Five minutes on the clock. And out there for the Wolverines is Brennan Patton. No surprise there. Had a goal yesterday. Leads the team in points and goals. David Dell on the point. And also Jamison Franz. On the other side, taking the faceoff was Sire. He's flanked by Crane and Muller. And Shane Mulliner with the puck now. Leads the team in points. He's in over the Wolverine line. He'll shoot it. A big save is made by Kalasa. Rebound corralled by Crane. On the far side, Sire battles away with Dell, but into support was Padden. And now Dell sends it across. Into the zone is Franz. He'll get it back from the point. And walking in the middle is Jamison Franz, whose centering pass was broken up. Moving fast the other way is Aiden Darlington. Left it for Mulliner, and his shot was off the stick of David Dell and bounces behind the net and cleared out. Here's Zach Gould. Could not cleanly enter the Wolverine zone, and that's ruled to be offsides. Just over a minute gone in this overtime period. We'll see a face-off. Near side dot outside the Dearborn blue line. Need to take it as Aiden Darlington. The former Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knight will win it back to Gould, who had to deal with, that's Bailey Bird, who was right on him. Now it's Gould in over the Wolverine blue line. Walks it to the near side, tries a putback pass to Aiden Darlington, who will, and the Rams regain it in the offensive zone. Zabo has got Hartwell right on him, and he's crunched off the puck. Into support was Cathcart, and he'll snap it up. Here comes Hartwell in over the Rams line. He's moving with speed. A sharp angle shot, trying to go upstairs on Hanisko, but I think hit the side of the cage. Max Lockwood, the lone goal scorer for the Rams. Weaving through the neutral zone, decides to hold up and give it back to Colin Biesel in his own end. The former Royal will skate it this time himself in over the Dearborn line. A backhand pass to Lockwood. He'll get it back, Biesel near side. Lockwood on the top of the point. Will cycle it down low, moving with speed, fighting off a few sticks there from Bird. And Biesel had to back up and out. Here's Sire, 2:30 left in this overtime period, halfway done. It's been all Rhode Island in extra time. Sire. Smooth as silk will send it down low to Shane Mulliner. And here's Sire again, near side corner, has to deal with Emery right on him. Into support is Shane Mullern. Barrett. He'll rev up the Jets this time. He's moving with speed in over the Rams line. Barrett on the far side dot. Had an excellent poke check there from Mullern to poke it into the corner. Barrett crisscrosses with Dell, moves in, shoots it, and a big save is made by Hanisko. Rebound will trickle all the way out of the zone. Now it's Dell with speed up the left wing side. He's on the top of the circle. Big shot knocked down that time by Hanisko. It's still the Wolverines. Barrett snaps a pass across. It's Dell, and a save made by Hanisko, who this time will hold on. Minute 25 left in overtime. And the Wolverines presenting a couple chances of their own. Padden, Dell, and Franz out there for the Wolverines. It's Darlington, Zabo, and Gould. Cross-ice pass will send Dell back into the zone. He controls it down low on his backhand. Tried to cut to the middle, and another shot was, I believe, blocked out in the slot. Still controlled by the Wolverines. It's Dell working it down low on the backhand. Centering pass is poked out of there by Zabo, and it will squeak over the blue line. 60 seconds left to go in overtime. It's Padden. The sophomore will skate it in over the Rams line and stop on the half wall. And the pile up there, and coming out of there is Franz. He's got it on the point. Trying to look for some options, and will hold up in the corner. It's Franz, turns and shoots, and it got blocked out in front by Gold. And mishandling it was Zabo, but Hartwell couldn't take it away. Bird, 15 seconds left to go. Will move in with speed on the backhand. Had it poked off his stick by Biesel. And into support, Biesel was Zabo. He's got 5 seconds left to go. Motoring through the neutral zone. Biesel's in over the line. Drives and shoots it, and a save made by Kalasa. And this one's going to a shootout. Quite the entertaining matchup in what is one of the last games of the ACHA Chicago Classic 2025. Very much back and forth in that overtime period. Played a lot of hockey though in the Rams end, and a couple big saves were made by Hanisko to force this shootout. Not entirely sure what the format is. I believe we'll see 3 shooters, and then it will go to sudden death. But we shall see either way. The Wolverines get the option to go first, but they choose to go second. Out to shoot first is Shane Mullern. Middletown, Rhode Island native, leads his team in points. Had a goal on Friday in their win against Roosevelt. Moves in on his forehand, snaps it on goal. A big save made by Kalasa. And now Michigan. David Dell. 5 goals on the season. He sits third in points for the Wolverines. He'll swing way out on his backhand. Moves it in, lots of moves. Backhand shot, he missed the net. A lot of stick handles in close, but Dell kind of stick handled himself into submission there. And now for the Rams, it's Justin Bafiglio. Another goal scorer in their win against Roosevelt. Some fancy footwork there. Moves in with speed, and a pad save made by Kalasa. Didn't fall for any of it. And now it's Brennan Padden. Alum of Victory Honda, played AAA hockey for them. Leads this Wolverines hockey team in points. Will sashay into the zone with speed, and a save made by Hanisko. Tried to split the wickets, but Hanisko said no. Now it's Cam Sire. Second in points for the Rams. Had 2 goals on Friday. Lots of moves in the slot, and a poke check from Kalasa. And Cam Sire didn't even get a shot off. Now it's Connor, or Caleb Cathcart rather. Oh, the only other person to score a goal today. This time a move in on from the right. Move, and a goal is scored by Cathcart, and the Wolverines win it in the shootout. From the way it looked, I thought Nathan Hanisko made the save. But Caleb Cathcart, the junior from Waterford, Michigan, scores both goals for the Wolverines this afternoon. And they overcome the Rams of Rhode Island. The way it started, I would not have predicted this outcome. The Rams really controlled pace of play and everything that happened in that first 20 minutes of hockey, but whatever was said in that first intermission turned things around. And the Wolverines improved to 10-4-1 on the season. The Rams fall to 13-6. Each team will have next week off for Thanksgiving. And the University of Michigan at Dearborn Wolverines will end up playing Lawrence Tech twice and then have a Wednesday game against Davenport. And then they'll be on Christmas break, and the Rams only have 2 more games before that break. Oswego State University that first week in December. What a game here this afternoon in Romeoville. I want to thank my camera operator, John Lissy, for giving you all sorts of good visuals tonight. And a special thanks to Joe Caprio and Capper Hockey Services for putting on this wonderful Chicago Classic and Big Classic tournament here in Romeoville and West Dundee. It's a great thing to bring some of the best college teams to this area to play college hockey, and I have the pleasure to call it. We hope that you enjoyed this afternoon's broadcast live on Flow Sports. My name is Logan Kapp. We will catch you all on the next one.